Yeah, we're all good.
Oh, no.
You're right?
Yep.
Yep. In the late 1800s, Pall Mall of Bendigo, or was known as Sandhurst Town in those days, was a gold mining area. Chinese were the main diggers there. It became very wet and quite a number of them perished after a couple of years because of the wetness and the mud. Further in Pall Mall, Beehive was an old two-storey store that you could buy anything from anything you wanted. Myers was there later on. The old original post office and law courts, and behind the law courts was the original police station of Bendigo. Shamrock building was also icon of Bendigo. Further down Pall Mall, Macrae Street, was School of Mines, now known as Brit. On the opposite side was the oldest funeral parlours in Bendigo, was William Farmer's, and just a bit further on is the oldest weatherboard church in the southern hemisphere, St Killian's Church, on the corner of Chapel and Macrae Street. Back into Hargrave Street, the Junior Technical School took over with the School of Mines, and further up Hargrave Street, Hanrow, on opposite to the School of Mines, was a knitting factory that employed something like 200 people, and it was their well-known brand of knitwear. Coming up to further in Hargrave Street is the old town hall, and been refurbished. Then you've got further on the opposite side is the old Crown Hotel. Coming further up Hargrave Street was all the shops, and one of the ones between Williamson Street and Mitchell Street was Favalora's Cafe that went from Hargrave Street through to the Mall. Very, very large cafe, and a lot of the old shops. Matthews Brothers Menswear was just alongside them. Opposite them in Hargrave Street was two main pubs of Bendigo, and they used to supply loose boxes for horses for people coming into town to shop, and they used to leave their horses in the loose boxes, and the yardman would look after them for the day for them.
What's a loose box, Grampy?
A loose box is a box where the horse is not tied up. It goes in and you shut the door, and it's got a door you can shut at the top, but it's left open so the horse can see.
Yep. And you were saying before there was a market down somewhere? Farmers Market?
Yes. We'll go over Mitchell Street now and back into Charing Cross, where the Bendigo Bank is now, which was Hill's Bazaar, where the people used to take, over Friday, take their calves and pigs in for sale, and then they'd go and spend that money in the town on their groceries.
Pig and bobby cow.
And then come up into Hargrave Street, over Mitchell Street. There was a lot of old shops there, and one of the oldest repair shops and part shops was Repco's. Then when you come up into Queen Street, there was a milk factory, Bendigo Butter Factory they called it, which used to supply Bendigo with a lot of their milk in pints and half pints. Now it's known as quarts and litres. Coming back from Mitchell Street back to Williamson Street in Queen Street was at the back of the pubs, and then on the corner of Queen Street and Williamson Street There's a big 3-storey building there, which is been turned into nightclubs now, which was one of the original flour mills in Bendigo. And on the opposite V corner in Littleton Terrace and Queen Street was a chook market, or they could take anything, chook eggs, anything was sold there, from dogs to cats to whatever you wanted. That was Curno's Market. And further up in Littleton Terrace was Hardiman's Bakery, and they used to mix the bread by hand in big wooden troughs, cook it with fire ovens, and then they would bring the bread out and let it cool, and it was covered over with wheat bags, moist wheat bags, so it wouldn't cool too quick, and then that's the way they kept the bread, and that bread would keep for a week. Coming further up into Williamson Street, there was blacksmith shop, all machinery places, whether you want to buy a new tractor or that. Cavanna's blacksmith shop was on the south side of Williamson Street, and there was 2 other machinery places on the north side of Williamson Street. Then in Mitchell Street, go south of Williamson Street, Mitchell Street, the Hopetoun pub is one of the oldest pubs in Bendigo, and then further up in Mitchell Street at the railway bridge is the railway station, and that used to be the old good yard where the marketplace is now. The good sheds there is now the Discovery place for kids to go and view.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Grampy, that was great.